The galaxy was vast, silent, and dangerous. Thousands of star systems, millions of planets, and countless alien civilizations coexisted, but not always peacefully. Most species measured power by fleets, weapons, or planets they controlled. But one species, the humans, was different. Quiet, unassuming, and often underestimated, they lived on a small blue planet in the Sol system. To the galaxy they seemed harmless. Weak even. That perception was about to change. In the council halls of the Zarkan Empire, the leaders gathered. Their massive, shadowed chamber buzzed with tension. Holograms of planets, starships, and reports floated in the air. The Supreme Commander, a tall, silver-scaled alien named Karath, slammed his clawed hand on the table. "They dare to intervene in the Trelax system," he growled. His voice echoed, chilling even the bravest generals. "The humans are insignificant. They cannot challenge us. Yet here they are, moving boldly where no weaklings belong." A junior officer, nervously adjusting his uniform, spoke. "Supreme Commander, intelligence reports say they have only a handful of ships, mostly civilian models. Our forces could destroy them in hours." Karatha's eyes glimmered with something between annoyance and disbelief. "And yet they do not cower. They do not beg. They respond, calmly. What fools." Across the galaxy, in the human command center orbiting Earth, the mood was very different. Captain Elena Rios, a young but brilliant strategist, reviewed the latest intelligence on the Trelax system. The human fleet was small, yes, just 5 advanced frigates and several scout ships, but their technology and tactics were clever. Elena looked at her second-in-command, Lieutenant Amir Khan, and smiled. "The aliens think we're afraid. Let them think that. We'll handle it as always." Amir raised an eyebrow. "Handle it? With just these ships?" Elena's smile didn't falter. "Just watch." News of the humans' movements traveled faster than anyone expected. Alien empires had spies everywhere, and the audacity of humans sparked whispers and panic. The Zarkan Empire was not alone in its attention. The dominant Krell Dominion, the Xyler Syndicate, and even the neutral yet powerful Lorvian Collective all turned their eyes toward the Sol system. "Humans? Those fragile beings?" One Krell officer scoffed. "Do they really think they can meddle in interstellar affairs? Their ships are barely a shadow in the galaxy." But the galaxy was learning a lesson. Humans were unpredictable. No one could predict their strategies, their courage, or the hidden technology they were quietly mastering. Meanwhile, back on the bridge of the lead human frigate, Elena prepared her crew. "Remember," she said, "we are not the biggest, not the strongest, but we are humans. And when humans say, 'Fine,' it means we take control." The phrase had become a quiet motto among her crew. It meant calm confidence, decisive action, and refusing to panic. In the galaxy's history, many empires underestimated small threats, and paid dearly. As the human fleet approached the Trelax system, alien scouts detected them. Reports flashed through the alien networks. 5 human ships entering contested space. Minimal firepower. Bold action. The reactions were swift. In the Zarkan Council, Karath banged his clawed hand on the table again. "Deploy the fleet. Show these humans they are nothing." Across the council halls of other empires, the same phrase echoed, "Prepare for the humans." The galaxy, for the first time in history, noticed humanity, not as prey but as a rising force. But the humans didn't rush to fight. They didn't issue threats or demands. They moved with careful precision, scanning the Trelax system, analyzing resources, and preparing for any scenario. On the human frigate Resolute, Lieutenant Amir turned to Elena. "Captain, they are sending messages. Aliens from the Zarkan Empire. They're asking why we are here." Elena read the message. It was threatening, demanding the humans leave immediately. She leaned back and said something that would echo across the galaxy. "Fine. We'll handle it." The message, short and calm, was unlike anything the aliens expected. They expected panic, excuses, or retreat. But this was audacity. Calm, measured, and chillingly confident. Within hours, the galaxy's major powers convened emergency councils. Holographic maps displayed the human fleet's movements. Analysts argued over human tactics, trying to predict their next steps. Some suggested immediate attack. Others recommended observing quietly. All agreed on one thing: humans were different. Karath, pacing the chamber, muttered, "They are unafraid. They are small, yet they move as if they own the stars. How can this be?" In the quiet of space, the human ships continued their mission. Scouts explored unclaimed planets, and the frigates maintained formation, prepared for combat but not eager for it. Humanity's strength lay not just in technology, but in creativity, courage, and unity. As night fell on Earth, people looked up at the stars, unaware of the stir caused by their kind across the galaxy. But Captain Elena Rios and her crew knew, this was only the beginning. The galaxy had seen a glimpse of human potential, and it was more powerful than anyone realized. By the time the Zarkan Empire's fleet reached the Trelax system, the humans had already positioned themselves strategically. The aliens expected a weak, panicked response. Instead, they found a calm, prepared force ready for whatever came next. And so, the warning spread quietly across the galaxy. When humans say, "Fine," every empire must brace. The rising threat had begun. First contact surprise. The human fleet glided silently into the Trelax system. Stars sparkled in the black void, and distant suns cast faint glows over barren planets. To any other species, the humans' presence might have seemed insignificant. 5 frigates against a system under the watchful eyes of multiple alien empires. But appearances, as always, were deceiving. Captain Elena Rios stood on the bridge of the lead ship, resolute, her eyes scanning the holographic displays. She wasn't nervous, not even a little. Her crew could feel her calm confidence, and it spread like a ripple through the command center. "Scanners report 3 alien patrols approaching," said Lieutenant Amir Khan, pointing at blinking red dots on the display. "They're armed heavily, and they've activated their shields." Elena nodded. "Good. Let's give them a reason to remember humans." The aliens themselves were certain of victory. The Zarkan patrol ships, large and heavily armed, had been ordered to intercept the humans immediately. Their commanders expected an easy confrontation, a swift removal of a minor nuisance from their territory. They didn't anticipate what was about to happen. The first patrol ship hove into view, its massive hull glinting against the stars. Its commander, a stern reptilian officer named Varkith, barked orders. "Identify yourselves. Leave this system at once. You are trespassers." A human communications officer replied calmly. "We are humans. We are here to observe. Nothing more. We will cooperate, but we will not retreat unless necessary." Varkith's eyes widened. "Observe? You dare to enter our domain and call yourselves observers?" Before he could continue, the human ships shifted formation. Not aggressively, but with precision and strategy. The Resolute moved ahead, while the smaller frigates flanked either side, creating a defensive triangle that blocked any approach. It was simple but clever. Varkith realized too late that humans did not follow the expected patterns of flight or combat. Their movements were unpredictable yet coordinated. They anticipated every maneuver he tried, countering it before he could react. "Shields holding strong," reported Amir. "They're coming closer, Captain." Elena's eyes gleamed. "Let them. We'll show them why humans survive against odds no one else can." The alien patrol attempted a warning shot, a laser meant to intimidate, but the humans dodged with swift, unexpected agility. Then the humans launched their first surprise. Not a destructive attack, but an electronic maneuver, a brief pulse that disrupted the aliens' targeting systems. Varkith cursed, unable to lock onto the human ships. "They are clever," one alien pilot whispered, fear creeping into his voice. Elena smiled at the bridge screen. "Clever enough to survive. Clever enough to win if needed." The human fleet continued its advance. They did not flee, nor did they attack aggressively. They simply moved with purpose, scanning planets, analyzing resources, and maintaining formation. Each movement was deliberate, yet it seemed natural and effortless. Varkith, now panicking, attempted a direct assault. "Fire everything. Show them our power." But the humans anticipated this too. Using a combination of evasive maneuvers and precise electronic disruptions, they neutralized the alien weapons before they could inflict any real damage. In minutes, what was supposed to be an easy confrontation had turned into chaos for the Zarkan patrol. "Captain?" Amir shouted. "They're trying to retreat." Elena nodded. Let them. Let them report what they saw." The humans allowed the alien ships to escape, unscathed but humbled. They had made a point without unnecessary destruction. The galaxy would hear of this encounter, and fear humans in a new way. Meanwhile, back on the Zarkan homeworld, Varkith faced the council. His reports of the human encounter were met with disbelief and anger. They didn't fight like any species we know. They didn't panic. They didn't beg. They handled themselves. Karath slammed his clawed hand on the table again. "Humans? The audacity. How can a species so small move with such confidence? They are dangerous. More dangerous than we imagined." Across the galaxy, other empires began sending observers and spies. The humans' calm but fearless approach had caught attention. It wasn't brute strength that impressed them, it was control, intelligence, and a refusal to be intimidated. On the human ships, the crew worked efficiently, preparing to move deeper into the system. Captain Elena turned to her crew. "Remember this moment," she said. "The galaxy expects fear. We give confidence. Every step we take shows who we are. We are humans. And when humans say, 'Fine,' it means we take control no matter what stands in our way." The crew nodded, feeling pride and excitement. They were small in number, yet their influence already stretched across stars. The aliens would talk about this for decades, if not centuries. By the time the day ended in the Trelax system, the humans had mapped key planets, discovered resource-rich asteroids, and set up defensive positions. Not a single human had been harmed. And the aliens? They were shaken to the core. Even more impressive, the humans hadn't resorted to mass destruction or terror. Their power lay in clever strategy, discipline, and unity. Every movement told a story. Humans were capable, unpredictable, and to be taken seriously. As the human fleet prepared to rest for the night, a small message arrived from the Zarkan Empire. "You will regret this." Elena read it aloud, smiling calmly. "They always think that. Fine. We'll handle it." The phrase echoed in the hearts of her crew, a quiet anthem of confidence and human ingenuity. Across the galaxy, whispers began. Humans were not just another species. They were something entirely different. The Trelax system, once quiet and unremarkable, now stood at the center of galactic attention. And the humans? They were ready for whatever came next. The first contact was complete. The galaxy had been surprised. And humans had proven, once again, that appearances were deceptive and courage could change everything. Galactic powers in panic. Word of the humans' actions in the Trelax system spread like wildfire. Alien empires across the galaxy buzzed with disbelief, anger, and fear. In every council chamber, from the Krell Dominion to the Lorvian Collective, leaders held emergency meetings. The humans had done the impossible. They had entered contested space, defied direct threats, outmaneuvered patrols, and remained calm. Their small fleet, almost invisible compared to the massive fleets of the galaxy, had made every empire pause and reconsider. In the Krell Dominion, High Chancellor Virex slammed his clawed hand on the table. "A handful of humans, and yet they have caused chaos. They are too clever, too fearless. We must act before their influence spreads." His advisors murmured, unsure. Most were used to judging strength by numbers and firepower. Humans defied those rules. "They didn't attack us directly," said one, shaking his head. "They simply moved with purpose. They neutralized our patrols without firing a shot. How do we counter that?" Virex's eyes narrowed. "We do not underestimate them again. Deploy fleets. Send spies. Prepare every weapon. Humans cannot be allowed to grow in influence." Meanwhile, across the galaxy, the Xyler Syndicate convened its secret council. Their leader, a shadowy, multi-limbed alien named Syrinx, addressed the room. "Humans are unlike anything we have faced," Syrinx said. "They are calm when others panic, clever when others act blindly, and bold when everyone else fears. One human fleet has shaken the Trelax system. Imagine what humanity could do if unchecked." A younger officer asked nervously, "Do we attack them, Supreme Commander?" Syrinx's gaze was sharp. "Attack? No. We observe. We plan. But above all, we prepare. When humans say, 'Fine,' it is not just a word. It is a warning. We must treat it as such." Back in the Trelax system, Captain Elena Rios remained unaware of the panic she had caused. The humans continued their exploration, scanning planets and mapping resources. They were efficient, careful, and calm. Lieutenant Amir spoke quietly to Elena. "Captain, I've never seen the galaxy react like this. They're terrified of us." Elena smiled faintly. "They think we're small. Weak. But humans are never just what they seem. Fear will make them overreach. We just need to stay prepared and smart." The Zarkan Empire, still reeling from their encounter, scrambled more patrols to monitor human movements. Commander Varkith was humiliated but determined to regain credibility. "They cannot be allowed to continue," he said, pacing. "The humans must be stopped." But even the Zarkan's military strategists struggled. Every time they planned an attack, humans seemed one step ahead. Their unpredictable tactics and calm composure were disarming. It was as if humans were always 3 moves ahead, even without visible signs of planning. Across the galaxy, smaller civilizations watched these events unfold with growing awe. They had assumed humans were insignificant. Now they whispered among themselves, if humans can do this with 5 ships, imagine what they could do if united. Alien spies sent back reports. Humans were not reckless. They were disciplined, thoughtful, and remarkably effective. Every action had purpose. Every move showed confidence. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. Meanwhile, on the bridge of Resolute, Elena reviewed their progress. Scan all planets for resources, update our maps, and maintain formation. Keep patrols active. Stay ready for anything. Her crew worked efficiently, aware that every action contributed to the humans' growing reputation. Every successful maneuver, every clever avoidance of conflict, added to the legend spreading across the stars. In the Krell Dominion, council members argued heatedly. They are not just clever, one said. They are dangerous. They think differently, act differently. We cannot predict them. Virex slammed his claw again. Then we must contain them. No species can be allowed to rise unchecked. Gather fleets. Prepare defenses. The humans cannot continue to disrupt the balance of power. Even the Lorvian Collective, known for neutrality, began discussing contingency plans. We must observe, said their leader, a calm, tall alien named Lauren. We do not seek conflict, but humans are unpredictable. If they act boldly, it could shift the entire galaxy's order. We must be ready. As tensions rose, the humans remained calm. They did not panic, did not overextend, and did not provoke unnecessary conflict. Their confidence was quiet but palpable, a silent force radiating from every human ship. Amir watched the scanners. Captain, alien fleets are moving closer. They're hesitating. Elena nodded. They always hesitate. Humans are small, but we think big. We plan. They are used to force. We are different. That difference terrifies them. The phrase, when humans say fine, every empire must brace, began to circulate, first in whispers, then as urgent warnings in council chambers across the galaxy. It became a phrase tied to caution, strategy, and fear. By the time the sun set on the Trelax system, the humans had completed their initial scans and observations. They had caused panic, inspired awe, and proven that confidence and intelligence could rival brute force. Elena stood on the bridge, looking at the holographic display of the galaxy. We're only getting started, she said quietly. The galaxy is watching. Let them be afraid. Let them respect humans. That is all we need for now. And so, the humans' reputation grew. Across star systems, empires prepared, plotted, and panicked. The galaxy had seen the first signs of something new, something powerful. Humans were no longer just a small species on a blue planet. They were a rising force, clever and calm, capable of changing the balance of power with nothing more than strategy, courage, and determination. The galaxy had entered a new era, and it was called the Age of Humans. The Battle of Minds. The galaxy had grown restless. Alien empires watched the humans in the Trelax system with fear and suspicion. Their fleets, their strategies, their calm defiance, it was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. But for Captain Elena Rios and her crew, the humans' mission was clear. Survive, explore, and prove that intelligence and strategy could triumph over brute force. Scanners show multiple fleets converging, Lieutenant Amir Khan reported. They're trying to trap us in the outer sector. Elena nodded. Let them. It's exactly what we want. The alien fleets approached cautiously, aware of the humans' unexpected abilities. Every empire wanted to assert dominance, but no one wanted to make a mistake. They were not used to dealing with a species that did not panic under pressure, a species that seemed always prepared for the worst. On the bridge of Resolute, Elena studied the display. Red dots represented enemy ships, moving in what seemed like an encircling pattern. But Elena saw through it. They think they can box us in, she said quietly. They don't realize humans don't play by the same rules. Her crew leaned in, eyes wide. Elena's calmness was contagious. Amir asked, Captain, how do we get out without a fight? Elena smiled. We don't just escape. We show them our strength without firing a shot. Using a combination of evasive maneuvers, sensor jamming, and feints, the human ships moved in unpredictable patterns. Alien commanders attempted to anticipate their moves, but each calculation failed. Every time an alien general thought they had trapped the humans had already shifted position. Commander Varkith of the Zarkan Empire slammed his clawed hand on his console. They are impossible to predict. Every tactic fails. Meanwhile, humans on the smaller frigates coordinated flawlessly. Scout ships created holographic decoys, confusing enemy targeting systems. Frigates adjusted positions subtly, always maintaining defensive advantage. It was a battle of minds, not weapons, a game of intellect and foresight. Elena instructed calmly, activate decoy drones. Prepare pulse arrays. Let's see how clever they really are. The human fleet's first strike was subtle, almost invisible. Electronic pulses disabled targeting sensors on several alien ships, leaving them temporarily blind. Alien weapons fired into empty space, wasting energy and creating panic among their crews. Captain, Amir said, eyes wide, they can't even see us properly. Elena's voice was steady. Exactly. They think they are in control. That's their mistake. As the alien fleet struggled, the humans advanced strategically, mapping critical positions and scanning planets in the system. Every move demonstrated intelligence and calm confidence. Across the galaxy, alien leaders grew frantic. How can 5 ships outmaneuver entire fleets? Demanded a Krell commander. This is madness. It's impossible. But humans thrived on what others considered impossible. Their creativity, discipline, and teamwork turned the battle into a display of human ingenuity. They avoided unnecessary conflict, but every action left a mark on their opponents' minds. Varkith, humiliated, demanded a direct strike. Destroy them. Enough games. Elena anticipated this. Prepare pulse shields and evasive maneuvers, she ordered. When the attack came, alien missiles and lasers were neutralized before reaching human ships. It was precise, efficient, and effective. Not through overwhelming firepower but through planning and foresight. The battle dragged on for hours, but not a single human ship was lost. Every maneuver reinforced a growing truth across the galaxy. Humans were not just fighters. They were thinkers, planners, and innovators. Captain, Amir said after a tense silence, they're retreating. They've never seen a species like this. Elena nodded. Let them go. Let them carry the story back to their empires. Fear spreads faster than any weapon. Indeed, as the alien ships pulled back, messages of caution and alarm spread across galactic networks. Humans are unpredictable. They cannot be controlled. They are cleverer than we imagined, read one report. Another, every move is calculated. Every decision is precise. Prepare for humans. In the quiet aftermath, the human fleet regrouped. Crew members shared quiet smiles and relief, but their calmness remained. They had proven something significant. Survival and strategy could outweigh raw power. Elena addressed her crew. Remember this moment. Every empire in the galaxy now knows that humans are different. They know we do not panic. We do not overreact. We survive and thrive. That is our strength. Her words echoed in the hearts of every human on board. They were small in number, but their actions carried a weight far beyond their size. Across the stars, whispers began. When humans say fine, every empire must brace. The battle of minds was over, but the war of perception had just begun. The humans' reputation grew with each clever maneuver, each calm response, and each strategic victory without bloodshed. Alien empires now faced a terrifying realization. Humans were not merely another species. They were a force that could not be measured by numbers alone. Commander Varkith returned to his superiors, battered but determined. We were outsmarted, he admitted reluctantly. We underestimated humans. They are not weak. They are dangerous. In the Krell Dominion, reports of the encounter sparked debates and urgent meetings. We cannot approach them with conventional tactics, one officer said. We must rethink everything. Humans do not fight like others. They think differently. Even the neutral Lorvian collective began monitoring humans more closely. We must understand them, their leader said. Humans could alter the balance of power across the galaxy. On the human fleet, Elena prepared for the next phase of their mission. We've won this encounter, she said. But the galaxy is watching. They are learning about us. And that knowledge is both a weapon and a shield. We must continue to move carefully, think creatively, and stay ready for whatever comes next. The Trelax system, once quiet and overlooked, had become a stage for human brilliance. Humans had not fired the first shot. They had not relied on brute force. They had relied on intelligence, courage, and calm confidence. And as the alien fleets retreated to report their failures, one phrase echoed across galactic communications. When humans say fine, every empire must brace. The humans had not just survived. They had proven their minds could outmatch weapons. The battle of minds had begun, and humanity was winning. Humanity shows its might. The Trelax system had grown tense. Alien fleets from multiple empires hovered at its edges, still shaken from the humans' clever tactics. For the first time in galactic history, 5 human ships had outsmarted entire fleets without firing a single devastating strike. Yet now, the humans were about to demonstrate something even more extraordinary, their true power. Captain Elena Rios stood on the bridge of the lead frigate, Resolute, watching the system's planets rotate slowly on the holographic display. "We've shown them brains," she said quietly. "Now it's time to show them what humans can do if they need to." Lieutenant Amir Khan glanced nervously at her. "Are you suggesting combat, Captain? With just our fleet?" Elena smiled calmly. "We're not reckless. We fight only when necessary, but when we do, we make it decisive. Let's remind them humans are not weak." The humans had received intelligence of an alien convoy attempting to seize control of a resource-rich asteroid belt in the outer Trelax system. The convoy was well armed, a full complement of warships and escorts, confident that the humans would stay out of the way. They were about to learn otherwise. "Form up," Elena ordered. The frigates adjusted positions, creating a compact, defensive formation. Scouts moved ahead, sending real-time updates back to the fleet. Every move was precise, calculated, and efficient. The alien commanders watched the approaching human fleet with overconfidence. 5 small ships, one sneered. "They dare challenge us? Destroy them." But the humans were ready. When the alien ships fired, the humans did not panic. Advanced targeting systems, electronic countermeasures, and evasive maneuvers neutralized the first volleys. Alien missiles and laser blasts missed their targets as the human fleet moved like a single organism. Amir reported, "Shields holding, Captain. They can't hit us." Elena nodded. "Good. Now let's end this before it escalates." The human ships unleashed their surprise, a concentrated, precise strike at the alien convoy's engines. Not enough to destroy them outright, but enough to immobilize key ships and scatter the formation. Alien crews panicked. Their leaders could not comprehend how such a small force had disabled their ships so efficiently. On the bridge of the flagship Varkin's Pride, Commander Varkith screamed at his officers. "What is this? How can 5 ships cause this much damage? This is impossible." But it was not impossible. It was humans. Humans relied on ingenuity, coordination, and precise execution rather than sheer numbers. Every maneuver was calculated, every strike intentional. The human fleet pressed forward. Drones and pulse arrays disabled more weapons, while targeted strikes on engines left alien ships stranded. The humans did not destroy them completely, yet, but they demonstrated unmistakable dominance. "Captain," Amir said, awe in his voice, "they're trying to retreat. They've lost control of the battlefield." Elena's voice was calm, steady. Let them. Let them go back and report what humans are capable of. Fear travels faster than firepower." Indeed, as the alien convoy withdrew, scattered and disorganized, reports of human might began to circulate across the galaxy. The stories were clear. 5 human ships had outmaneuvered and outclassed a powerful alien convoy. Not by luck, not by numbers, but by intelligence, courage, and precise execution. Across alien empires, leaders convened emergency meetings. "Humans are more than clever," one general said. "They are lethal when necessary. Their tactics are unpredictable. We cannot underestimate them any longer." Even the Lorvian Collective, traditionally neutral, issued warnings to neighboring systems. "Do not challenge humans. Their fleet, though small, is capable of incredible strategy and strength." Back on the human ships, the crew celebrated quietly. Not with arrogance, but with quiet pride. They had faced overwhelming odds, outsmarted stronger opponents, and survived. They had proven that humans could hold their own, and even dominate, against far larger forces. Elena turned to her crew. "Remember this," she said. "We are small, but we are powerful. Intelligence, courage, and unity make us stronger than brute force. The galaxy will remember this day." Amir smiled. "Captain, they'll never forget it. Everyone in the galaxy will talk about humans now." Elena nodded. "Exactly. Let them talk. Let them prepare. That is the advantage humans always have. We adapt, we think, and we survive." Meanwhile, alien fleets recalculated their strategies. Human ships were no longer just clever, they were a force to be reckoned with. The phrase began spreading across galactic channels. When humans say fine, every empire must brace. The Trelax system, once a quiet and forgotten corner of space, had become a symbol of human capability. Alien commanders now realized that intelligence and precision could rival, and even surpass, sheer numbers. As the human fleet moved to establish secure positions around key planets and resources, Scouts reported no immediate threat, but the galaxy remained on edge. Humans had demonstrated their ability to act decisively, and that knowledge alone had shifted the balance of power. Elena watched the system from the bridge. We've shown our strength without unnecessary destruction. That is our way. Clever, precise, and in control. That is what humans are capable of. Her words resonated with the crew. Across the stars, humans were small, yes, but their influence was growing. Each calculated move, each clever tactic, each decisive but measured strike built their legend. The humans had not just survived, they had proven their might. And the galaxy knew it. Every empire would now watch humanity differently. Every council would rethink strategies. And every officer in alien fleets would remember the day humans showed what they were truly capable of. For the first time, the galaxy understood, humans were not a species to be underestimated. The age of humanity had begun. And it had arrived with precision, intelligence, and undeniable might. Turning the tide. The Trelax system was no longer quiet. Alien fleets hovered on the edges of the human-controlled zone, cautious, wary, and unsure. Rumors of human brilliance and daring had spread across the galaxy. What had started as disbelief had now turned into cautious respect and fear. Captain Elena Rios stood on the bridge of Resolute, watching the display of the system. "We've shown strength," she said calmly. "Now we need to show strategy. The galaxy is watching, and how we act next will define humanity's place in it." Lieutenant Amir Khan glanced at her. "Captain, the alien fleets are reorganizing. Some are even approaching for negotiations?" Elena's lips curved into a small smile. "Exactly as I thought. They've realized direct conflict is risky. Now they seek dialogue, trying to measure humans. Let's show them how humans lead, with intelligence and confidence." The first emissaries arrived. Alien representatives from the Zarkan Empire, Krell Dominion, and Lorvian Collective cautiously approached the human fleet. They were wary of humans' power, yet intrigued by their discipline and ingenuity. Commander Varkith, once furious and humiliated, now tried diplomacy. "Humans, you have impressed us. Your fleet, though small, demonstrates skill beyond any other species. Perhaps we can reach an agreement." Elena studied the holographic images of the alien leaders. "We are humans," she said simply. "We act with purpose, not recklessness. We defend what is ours and act when necessary. But we prefer peace when it can be achieved. That is how we survive and thrive." The alien representatives exchanged uneasy glances. They had faced humans in combat and strategy, and they had witnessed the humans' calm dominance. For the first time, they considered cooperation over confrontation. Across the galaxy, smaller systems began taking notice. The humans' reputation for strategy, courage, and intelligence spread rapidly. Some sent messages of support, eager to ally with the species that had outsmarted and outmaneuvered mighty fleets. Lieutenant Amir reported, "Captain, smaller alien systems are offering assistance. They want to join our side, or at least stay neutral. Humans are influencing them without firing a shot." Elena nodded. "That's exactly what we want. Influence is power. The galaxy will recognize humans not just as fighters but as leaders." Meanwhile, the Zarkan Empire and other major powers struggled. Plans to crush humanity had failed. Their fleets had been outmaneuvered, their tactics anticipated, and their forces humiliated without massive losses on either side. Fear had set in. Humans were small but deadly, deadly in thought, strategy, and resolve. Vyrek of the Krell Dominion paced his chamber. "We misjudged them. Every action humans take is deliberate, precise, and unexpected. They are unlike any species we've faced. We must reconsider every move we planned." Even the neutral Lorvian Collective began increasing surveillance. Humans could shift the balance of power, their leader Lauren said. "We must understand them if we are to survive in this new order." On the human fleet, Elena continued her work. "We do not provoke, but we do not back down," she told her crew. "Every action, every communication, every move we make sends a message. Humans are capable. Humans are strategic. Humans survive, and we shape the galaxy quietly but decisively." Through diplomacy, intelligence, and precise displays of capability, humans began to turn the tide of the galaxy's perception. Aliens who had once underestimated humanity now saw them as a rising power. Small systems pledged loyalty or neutrality, wary of opposing humans in the future. "Captain," Amir said, "they are hesitating. The major fleets are holding back, trying to calculate our next move." Elena nodded. "Let them. Calculation is human advantage. The galaxy is learning that humans are unpredictable, precise, and clever. That knowledge is more valuable than any weapon. In a nearby system, a small alien coalition sent envoys to the humans. "We have watched your actions," one said. "You do not act recklessly, yet you achieve what no other species could. We wish to ally with you, or at least remain neutral in your favor." Elena smiled. "Allies are welcome, but remember this: humans act with integrity. We fight when necessary and we lead with strategy. Those who understand that will survive. Those who do not, will learn." The galaxy was shifting. Humans were no longer seen as a minor species on a small planet. They were a force defined by intellect, courage, and unity. Influence had replaced fear, diplomacy had replaced desperation, and perception had become their most potent weapon. Even the alien fleets that had once sought to destroy humanity now approached cautiously, respecting the humans' efficiency and control. Leaders debated strategy rather than rashly ordering attacks. Humans had achieved something remarkable. They had changed the galaxy's mindset without unnecessary violence. Amir looked at Elena, awe in his eyes. "Captain, we've done more than survive. We've made the galaxy reconsider humanity entirely." Elena's expression was calm, almost proud. "Exactly. The galaxy is turning. When humans act, it is not chaos, they are precise. When humans say, 'Fine,' every empire must pause and think. That pause is our advantage." The Trelax system, once just a contested region, had become a symbol of human intelligence and dominance. Across the stars, whispers and reports carried the same message: humans are not just clever, they are unstoppable when determined. And so the tide had turned. Humanity was no longer a species to be ignored. They had earned respect, allies, and a position that could shape the galaxy's future. With intelligence as their weapon and strategy as their shield, humans had begun to change the course of interstellar history. The age of humans was not just beginning, it was spreading quietly but powerfully across the stars. The galactic revelation. The galaxy had changed. In every council hall, every fleet command, and every quiet observation post, the name humans carried weight. No longer were they underestimated as a small, fragile species from a blue planet. Across the stars, every empire, large or small, knew that humans were clever, courageous, and decisive. Captain Elena Rios stood on the bridge of Resolute, gazing at the Trelax system. From this vantage point she could see planets, asteroid belts, and distant suns, but her focus was on something more important: the galaxy itself. Humanity had started as a minor player, but through intelligence, discipline, and quiet boldness, humans had become a force the galaxy could not ignore. Lieutenant Amir Khan approached, awe in his eyes. "Captain, look at the reports. Every major empire is sending observers. Some are even sending messages of cooperation and alliance. They're acknowledging humans as equals, maybe even leaders." Elena smiled calmly. "It was never about brute force, Amir. It was about showing what humans are capable of. Strength is measured not by numbers alone, but by intelligence, courage, and unity. The galaxy now understands that. For decades, alien empires had ruled based on size, firepower, and dominance. Most species relied on intimidation, overwhelming numbers, or secretive alliances. Humans had done something no other species had ever accomplished. They had commanded respect through strategy, clarity, and calm audacity. Reports from the Trelax system indicated that alien fleets had begun adjusting their tactics. They no longer relied solely on brute force. They hesitated, they calculated, and they watched humans closely. They had learned to fear not just the unknown, but the cleverness of a species that refused to panic. Across the galaxy, smaller civilizations sent envoys to humanity. Some sought alliances, others offered resources, and many simply observed from a distance, learning what made humans extraordinary. Each human maneuver, each decision, each moment of calm in the face of potential danger added to their legend. On the bridge of Resolute, Elena addressed her fleet. "We've shown them our strength, our strategy, and our discipline. Now we must continue to act with integrity, intelligence, and precision. That is how humans lead. That is how humans are remembered." Even the largest empires were beginning to whisper the same phrase: when humans say fine, every empire must brace. What had once been a simple reply now carried immense weight. It was a warning, a signal of confidence, and a testament to human capability. Commander Varkith, once furious and humiliated, now faced reality. "We misjudged them," he admitted to his superiors. "They are not weak. They are not reckless. They are unstoppable in their own way. We must approach humans differently with caution and respect. High Chancellor Vyrek of the Krell Dominion nodded gravely. They have changed the rules of the galaxy. Intelligence, strategy, and courage, humans have proven that these can outweigh sheer numbers. We must adapt or be left behind. The Lorvian Collective, long neutral, now monitored human activity with keen interest. They are unlike any species we have encountered, their leader Lauren said. Their influence spreads quietly yet powerfully. The galaxy is entering a new era, the age of humans. On Earth, ordinary humans went about their lives unaware of the galactic attention their species had earned. But in the fleets above, every crew member knew the truth. Humanity had risen from obscurity to prominence through determination, ingenuity, and courage. Amir turned to Elena. Captain, it's amazing. We've gone from being underestimated to being the standard other species measure themselves against. Elena nodded. That is the responsibility of humans, Amir. To act wisely, boldly, and with purpose. Power alone is nothing without intelligence to guide it. Across the Trelax system, fleets that once sought to intimidate humans now followed them cautiously, observing their actions and strategies. Alien commanders who had assumed superiority now recalculated every move, recognizing humans as a force that could change the course of history. Elena looked out at the stars, the same stars that had once seemed endless and empty, and said quietly, "This is just the beginning. The galaxy knows our potential now. We will continue to explore, to defend, and to inspire. Humans are not just survivors, we are leaders." The phrase echoed in every corner of the galaxy, carried by whispers, reports, and interstellar communications. When humans say fine, every empire must brace. It was no longer just a statement. It was a symbol of human ingenuity, courage, and unstoppable potential. And so, the Trelax system became a monument to the rising power of humanity. Alien fleets, once confident and dismissive, now treated humans with respect and caution. Small civilizations pledged allegiance or neutrality. Even the largest empires approached cautiously, acknowledging that humans were capable of reshaping the galaxy in ways no one had imagined. The age of humans had arrived. Not through overwhelming numbers or sheer destruction, but through intelligence, courage, and calm confidence. The galaxy would remember this species, not as weaklings, but as a force capable of changing the balance of power forever. Captain Elena Rios looked at her crew one last time. "We have proven ourselves," she said. "The galaxy knows humans are special. But we must continue to act wisely. The future is ours to shape." As the stars glimmered in the vast darkness of space, the humans continued their journey, calm, confident, and unstoppable. Across the galaxy, a single truth had become clear. Humans were no longer a minor species. They were a legend, a rising power, and a force every empire had to respect. The galactic revelation was complete. Humanity had arrived.